Well, I can see you.
Oh, yeah. You got the hearing aids.
Good. 15 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2023 Sailor Salute here at Sailor Stadium. It's a tradition of like no other, and it's intended to be a recognition and remembrance of military personnel, first responders, and everyone in between that sacrifice and serve for their country and community. And it's an absolutely beautiful day to do that. Thanks for joining me, my friend.
Oh, my God. Thank you for having me here. You know, we always enjoy doing what we do.
We do.
But certain things are really special, and this is one of them right here, where whether you're a first responders or whatever you do, it's an honor and privilege to have you with us.
And there are very few people that don't have somebody that is part of the military or have been in the military themselves, a family member, a distant relative. Everybody can relate in some fashion or another to the military. And actually right now, I can hear the Michigan State Police helicopter coming in. That helicopter is going to be landing in the baseball field here in just a few seconds.
Oh, I do hear it too, yeah.
There it is right there coming over the top of the Sailor Center. We're going to see quick if Kimmin can get a shot of that.
There, Kimmin.
He's going to do a little circle. And
wow,
if he can't,
that's pretty cool.
We'll come back to it when it's over here after.
Yeah, you may not be able to give him, Kim.
Yeah,
we'll get him when he lands
We'll get it in
there.
just a minute. So.
Yeah.
So, but until then, let's talk about our first guest here. We always have an opportunity to talk about some great people and bring some great people into the fold and hear their stories. Today, we have the president of Rolling Thunder, Mike Holman. Mike, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the invitation.
And you guys have been a part of this for many, many, many years now, and you guys do something pretty spectacular with the displays that you have, and then you actually have, let's talk about the motorcycle group that you guys have.
Well, Rolling Thunder is a veteran support group. Many of us ride motorcycles, so we get kind of called upon to lead different groups for different things, and we've been fortunate enough that Mona Shores has partnered with us and asked us to organize and bring this ride in every year.
And you guys have had anywhere from 20 motorcycles to 150 motorcycles over the years. You never know how many.
It's whoever happens to show up for
Mike,
the ride
one
in.
year you and I were talking, God, it seemed like 1 million were. It was incredible.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
A few years ago, how many came in, and just it was wave after wave after wave.
Yeah, well, that was a big year, and that was actually, I think, the last year that we actually circled the track back on the old track before they upgraded everything.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, how many other events do you and the Rolling Thunder motorcycle group typically attend?
Well, we host a number of events during the year to raise awareness to the POW MIA issue, and mainly it's to remind our government that we need to bring our military remains home.
Sure.
Those that are still missing.
Right.
But every year in Memorial Day weekend, we do our Ride to Remember, and we form in Grand Rapids, and we go all the way to the Belding Memorial for a short presentation, and then we go to Lansing, and we meet up with the Rolling Thunder group from the other side of the state at the state capitol on the steps, and we do a speaker's platform there.
Hey, Mike, how many Rolling Thunder groups are there in the state then? Just 2?
There are 3 chapters in Michigan. There are, I believe, 88 across the country now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
What is the makeup of the group?
Well, right now it's getting to be older members. It's hard to get the younger guys involved, but a lot of us are veterans, but many aren't, and we're always asking for new members that are interested to come join us.
Mike, is it because more people enlisted and more people will act? There were more wars going on when bodies needed to be there, and we pray there's not any more where we have to lose anyone, but realistically speaking, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
And so age is catching up with you guys.
Yes,
it catches up with all of us. Joe, you know that age is keeping up with me. I'm 67, but
that's what we're seeing, and we're seeing the same thing happen in all the other service organizations like the VFW and the American Legion, their membership rolls are just dwindling all the time, and they're just not getting the younger members coming in.
If we have any veterans out there that do have motorcycles and want to be a part of this group, or even maybe don't have motorcycles that want to be part of this group, how would they go about doing that?
They can contact me. I'm going to give you my email address. It's mholmes52@comcast.net. They can reach out to me, and I can tell them when we're having meetings, or if they just want to meet and talk, we can do that.
Where are your headquarters in Muskegon then?
We have a clubhouse that we share with a gentleman that allows us to have our meetings there. It's on Getty Street over in downtown in the Muskegon area. We have a meeting this Sunday. We have a meeting the second Sunday of the month at 1 p.m.
Well, I tell you what, I think it would be fun. We reach out and do different things at Sailor. Obviously it's 90%, but God, we'd love to do something with you to help you out.
Sure.
To get more members and do.
We're looking for help. This Saturday we're going to be over at the Grand Rapids Home for Veterans. Every other month we have a birthday party over there. We serve the veterans that are residents over there cake and ice cream, and to remember those guys.
So besides the motorcycle group that comes in here in force, tell us about the other things that you bring to the Sailor Salute as a display.
Well, it's the remembrance of our missing. To keep people aware of what's going on. Just a week ago, we dedicated a missing man honor chair in the front lobby of Mona Shores High School.
Wow!
So we have a chair there, and it's to anyone that comes in, is for them to remember that we still have missing, and to keep them in their thoughts. That's what we try to do. Just keep the public aware of what's going on.
Tell us about the Tiger Cage.
We have a Tiger Cage that we take to different events. It's out here this evening. A lot of people don't know what it is or what the deal is with it.
I don't know what it is. What's Tiger Cage?
During the Vietnam War, servicemen that were captured, taken prisoner of war, before they were actually taken into where there was a prison, they were kept captive in a cage like this in the jungle.
And that's it right there?
Yeah.
Wow.
They were kept captive in a cage like that until they could get transported or moved to a prison facility.
That's amazing. Hey,
that has been here about 5 years now?
Yeah, maybe 5 years, something like that.
Good.
Hey, Rolling Thunder, is every organization in the different called Rolling Thunder then? Is that your national name?
Yes, Rolling Thunder Inc. is nationwide.
God, I just love the name Rolling
Thunder, and it really
it's the perfect name because it just sounds like thunder. So what's the route that you guys, and what time are you scheduled to come in? What's your route going to be?
Well, we're meeting at the Shoreline Church over on Lake Harbor Road.
Yep, okay.
And we're staging over there at 5:30.
Okay.
We're going to be what we call kickstands up, and leaving there at 6 o'clock and coming down Seminole Road and coming into the parking lot here.
Well, we'll make sure Kimmon gets out. Kimmon's the best in the business at what he does, and he'll get a great shot of you guys coming in. Yeah,
we'll be coming in
under
under the big flag out there that's the fire trucks are holding up tonight. That's kind of cool, too.
Well, Mike, I know you got to get going to get yourself in position for that ride here. I want to thank you for taking a little bit of time explaining what the Rolling Thunder does, and really thank you for the time and effort.
And Mike, don't forget, reach out to Joe if there's anything we can ever do to help you guys out.
We do that, and I appreciate you inviting us tonight. I really
always,
enjoyed
my
it.
dear friend. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You bet. Nice to meet both of you guys. I'm very proud because I am a Mona Shores graduate.
Fantastic.
When did you graduate?
Class of '69.
Class of '93.
You got a few years. I'm 75 Muskegon. Nice job, buddy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let Mike go. We're going to get set up for our next interview. I believe it's going to be Mr. Tim Lipan, and we'll get out.
Now there's a legend right there.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Michael.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break. So we're going to go to about 5.
You heard him trying to surf on Lake Michigan on the website.
Thanks for hanging with us, folks. Sailor Nation Sports Network here at the 2023 Sailor Salute. A beautiful day as ever. Always seems to be.
We've been blessed.
We have with everything that we've got going on. That is a lot of it is weather dependent. We've really had a lot of good blessed weather, and I'll tell you what. Weather isn't the only thing that is needed to pull this off. It's a good coordinator, and sitting to my left is Mr. Tim Lipan. He is the coordinator extraordinaire of this thing, and I get an opportunity to work with Tim for about 6 months leading up to this thing.
That's right.
Tim, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
So how long have you been the coordinator of the Sailor Salute?
Since the beginning. This is our 7th year.
And in those 7 years, what has happened to the size of this and the complexity?
Well, there's a lot of moving parts, I'll tell you that. And this year, I think we have the most static displays we've had since the beginning. And we just landed a helicopter, and we're about to have a skydiver at 625.
Yep.
And so all that takes coordination in airspace and on the land. So
there's a lot of coordination, and I can speak to that as well. When we have meetings, we have every branch of the military, we have law enforcement, we have fire department. We discuss and organize contacts with the airport and all these other people, and it is a massive undertaking.
Right.
Well, Tim, what don't you have your hands in Muskegon County? I mean, you do this. Thank you for number one, all of your time.
Well, I
You've got to
appreciate
be
that.
retired from work because you wouldn't have any time doing anything.
No,
like
I'm
this.
retired from the American Red Cross, but
Yeah, and
I'm
you
still
did a
involved in the
job
community.
there as well,
Yeah.
Tim. I mean,
Thank you.
kudos to Muskegon County for having somebody like you around. The skydiver, just out of curiosity, is he bringing the football in by any chance?
Not this year.
Oh,
Not
that-
this year. Because she has to jump at about 625, and she's not sure about this. It's a she, which is really cool.
Well, no, that's really cool.
She's a firefighter.
It's firefighter.
She's a firefighter from Grand Rapids.
Of course she is.
Next year, though, she's already got ideas. She wants to come in with American flag and the football.
Yes, absolutely.
So-
Yeah, both for sure. But the football be really,
Yeah.
she could strap it around. And,
Yeah.
Oh, that would. Is it the same gal year after year? I mean,
Hopefully.
yeah. No,
hopefully.
well, we'll have to interview her down the road as
There
well
you
too
go.
to do that. I think.
So as intimately involved as you've been with this over the years, what does it become to mean to you? I know, and this is me watching you as one of the participants. I'm telling you, Nick, this guy, he's like a pusher. Like he pushes. He says, "Get this stuff out. Share it on your social media. We need to get as many people here." What does this really become to mean to you?
Yeah, well, way back 7 years ago when the athletic director kind of came up with the idea with Matt Kozak, the football coach, they asked me because they know I've been involved in a lot of community events that have a lot of moving parts, whether it's Summer Celebration or the Irish Music Festival or Muskegon Bike Time. They said, we need an event planner, and here I am. And so I just chair the meetings and try to ride herd over all these guys. I laugh because here I am sitting in the meetings, blue jeans and a polo shirt, and in the room is full of guys in uniform, girls in uniform. Some of them are carrying guns, and I'm wondering, how did I get here? But it's the greatest thing because it's especially special for me to see the response of the vets who come here who may not have been honored throughout history here, and they come here and they get free food, and that meet and greet of the football players,
Yes.
where they line up and meet the football players, and these young men are all going, thank you for your service. If you get up close, you can see the tears in their eyes.
Tim, every good organization has to have a leader, and then It's almost like a Christmas tree. You got the star on top, and then
Yep.
you've got everything. Is that your role? Are you the overseer of everything?
Well, right now that's my role, and
Yeah,
I
right.
communicate with everybody. I
Correct.
have the email list. I put the agenda together, and I run the meetings. But the folks we have, what a team! Everybody
gosh,
takes
yes.
their role, and if you walk around here today and you see all this stuff happening, you can tell it takes a village, if you will.
Well, yeah, I was just looking. Jack Numador had a little group over here. We've got a little group over here. We've got something going on. There's little sub-meetings all over the place going on right now.
Yeah, it's really something. Like I said, it's a lot of moving parts. But our whole goal is to inform, educate. The students really learn a lot. I mean, I'll bet you today's students don't know what POW means
Oh, no.
or MIA.
They do from an event like this, though.
They're going to learn that from an event like this. And then, of course, we're here to honor not only vets, but the active duty military and police and fire, especially, our local heroes. So,
Hey, Tim, so when your event, we revamped our Greek pilaf dinner to more of a festival.
yeah.
And, we had a lot of moving parts. But during it, as Parish Council President, I was jotting down little notes all the time just to keep it fresh. Do you look around, walk around, and jot down any type of notes for next year?
I don't know if you see this clipboard, but he's already got.
Oh,
his
yes,
notes
he
on
does.
there.
He
I
does.
got it right here.
Oh, okay,
Right
that was
here.
a stupid question. Yeah, but I got to imagine your mind is always, it probably is not resting, it's just thinking,
Right.
your mind is moving all the time as well.
Well, it is, because we want to engage as many organizations that
Sure.
represent the folks we're trying to honor, and then let the world know that they should be coming here and enjoying the event, but also step up and be honored. And
Do organizations reach out to you saying, hey, we want to be part, versus you going to them now?
in the early years, we were going to them,
Oh, of
and
course
we
you were.
still do. But
Oh,
I'll
no,
tell you,
yeah.
this year, more than any other year, they've heard about this event, and people are reaching out to me. I think we probably have 4 brand new organizations.
Oh, how wonderful.
For the first time this year. Silver Sides is new, Lighthouse for Veterans is new.
Sure.
And so the more the word gets out, everyone's welcome. It's a county community thing, and so the more we can engage people and have them come out here and learn and honor, then we're happy.
Well, Joe, we got to get the Greek. My dad was in the Greek army. He was a cook in the Greek army.
Maybe you guys could set up.
Well, maybe. I call the pizza place up representing the
There you
Greeks. We
go.
get Billy Molachotis over here. And yeah, I mean, my dad's got to be right. Yeah.
Tim, we thank you a ton for taking just a few minutes out of this very busy event that's going on. The way that the weather's turned out,
Wow.
the clouds are clearing for the skydiver. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more.
Beautiful
and honestly,
day.
we couldn't ask for a better coordinator.
Well,
I wanna
thank you very
for your
much.
time.
And thanks for all your help, especially.
Oh, yeah. And
Appreciate
Tim,
it.
anything, we reached out to the rolling thing. Anything we can do in advance? I know Joe's, the main
Yep.
part of it. Then anything Sailor Nation Sports can always do. We're here with
Well,
you. buddy.
not only does Joe help because he's a firefighter, but Sailor Nation Sports helps spread the word, so everybody
Yes,
knows they should be coming here tonight. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have another great opportunity for an interview here in just a few minutes, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Sailor Nation Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Sailor Nation Sports Network here at the Sailor Salute 2023, where we have all kinds of stuff going on here, Nick. It's just incredible what's happening and who we have here.
It's amazing on an absolutely picture-perfect day.
And one of the honored guests of the military, obviously, that we like to have and show in the participation in one of the branches is the Coast Guard. And we have Caden Jetty. BM1 is your rank, is that correct?
That's correct. That means that's my rate and my rank, so I'm a bosun mate first class. That's an E6 in the Coast Guard.
Perfect. Well, welcome to our interview and our show here. It's glad to have you on board. So,
thank you.
So tell us a little bit about the Coast Guard. Obviously, we have just about all of the military branches represented here. Tell us about the Coast Guard, what you guys do, what you represent, and how you fit within the military scope. And give us an idea what that looks like.
Well, the Coast Guard is one of the branches of the United States military. We're often referred to as the redheaded stepchild, right? Being under the Department of Homeland Security as opposed to being under the Department of Defense. But we have a variety of missions, right? Are best known for search and rescue, but we also do things such as law enforcement, aids to navigation, ICE operations, that sort of thing. And what I do here in Muskegon is aids to navigation. So every lighthouse, every buoy you see on this side of Lake Michigan is my responsibility.
So you're stationed in Muskegon down at Pierre Marquette Beach?
I am.
See, I could see him every day. I live a few blocks from there. Going, Andy Bartos. You work with Andy Bartos.
He's not there anymore.
Oh, he's not there anymore?
No. I'm second in command at the unit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Andy's moved. I gotcha.
So how long have you been in the Coast Guard?
I've been in the Coast Guard just over 8 years now.
And in that 8 years, what's your best experience of that? What do you like the most about the Coast Guard?
That's a great question. I think the most rewarding thing people get out of the Coast Guard, and probably every military branch, is the camaraderie you get between me and my shipmates, right, my fellow coasties. Sometimes the hard days are kind of the best days, and I've been stationed all over the world. I've been in Alaska, I've been in the Middle East, all over the United States, and just the stuff you get to see and the people you get to meet is the best part.
How often are you is it a choice to get relocated, or does the Coast Guard say, hey?
So you get a little bit of say. We get to put in what you call a wish list when it's time to transfer.
Oh.
Most people are only in a place for 3 to 4 years, and then it's time to transfer.
I got you.
And then it's a request. It's not guaranteed what you're going to get.
Yeah. So do you have a wish list? Where haven't you been where you'd like to go?
Well, I haven't been stationed on the West Coast yet, so maybe I'll be pointing my bow that direction after this. I really don't know. I recently got here, so I'm just getting settled in.
Oh, and you're coming from where?
I came from Vermont.
Okay. Oh, you'll love you'll love Muskegon.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So have you always been involved with aids to navigation, or has there been other assignments that you have had?
So I've definitely had other assignments. When I first came into the Coast Guard, I was on a 270-foot vessel that mainly concerns itself with fisheries law enforcement.
Okay.
But then we would also go down to the Caribbean, and we would work both immigration and drug enforcement.
So you have you board boats, you check whatever
Absolutely.
It's a safety check, or if you have an actual criminal thing that you know of within that.
Absolutely.
So some pretty dangerous stuff that you've been involved with as well, correct?
It can be. I was in the Middle East for about 2.5 years. We were stationed out of Manama, Bahrain, which is a small country next to Saudi Arabia. And we often assisted the Navy over there in the Arabian Gulf. So,
anything? What's the craziest assignment or call out that you've had that you can talk about? Classified?
No, nothing's too classified that I've done. No, really just transiting the Straits of Hormuz, which is a small waterway that is in between the Gulf of Oman and the Arabian Gulf. It can get pretty hairy in there. Iran and the United States were not exactly the best of friends, so it gets pretty hairy out there sometimes.
So when you decide to commit to the Navy, the Coast Guard, that specific branch, do you start out with a 1 year, 2 year, 4 year commitment?
Most contracts are 4-year contracts when you first get it.
And you've been in 18, you said?
8.
How much longer do you want to go? Do you see yourself making a career out of this?
Yes, sir, I do. I've been in over 8 years. When I first enlisted, I said only 4. here I am 8 years later.
No, thank you. And how wonderful.
Yeah, and it's been pretty good so far. So
Yeah.
Is this your first opportunity to be here at the Sailor Salute?
this is, yes.
Well, I'm telling you, we're only at the beginning of this, and I think you're going to enjoy what accolades and what recognition that we give all the branches of the service.
And
including
hey,
the
Joe,
Coast
I
Guard.
want to show the officer right here. One of the stickers is with, this one says Navy. We got Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and Coast Guard as well. So
various
you will
different
be
helmets, yep.
represented.
Well, that sounds great.
on,
Yeah,
on this helmet as well.
appreciate that.
Yeah, depending on what the athlete wanted to have on there, it could be a family member or says, hey, one of my players on the JV set picked Navy because he wants to get in the Navy. One picked Coast Guard because he wants to be in the Coast Guard like that.
Well, that's great.
BM Jenny, thank you very much for the opportunity to talk a little bit about the Coast Guard. It's one of the branches that I don't think we've had on the show in the last 7 years that we've been doing this. So it's been very informative, and it's been an honor to have you here. And we want to thank you for your service and continued safety and protection of our great country.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for talking to me.
Well, thank you so very much, sir.
Sailor Nation Sports, we're going to be right back with another great interview in just a few minutes, so don't go too far. This is Sailor Nation Sports Network. Want to welcome everybody back, Sailor Nation Sports Network here at the 2023 Sailor Salute, and we're continuing on through the disciplines that are recognized in this event, the 7th year of the Sailor Salute. And with me to my left is soon-to-be retired Chief of Muskegon Township Fire Department, Dave Glossbach, and Captain Mike Mayotte. How you guys doing?
Good. Very good, thank you.
Well, I always love to have a component other than one of our firefighters on here because I get to talk to them all the time. But I do include them in here as well. But thanks for having the time and the interest in being here. I twisted your arm just a little bit, but
Just a little.
And then you twisted his because he didn't really know he was going to be sitting on.
Right,
here.
that's how it kind of goes, right?
Yeah.
Rolls downhill.
It
So,
does.
Joe, does he pull rank on you?
He does.
So wonderful. That's my new best friend right here.
He does. He pulls rank on
Oh,
me.
that's good to know.
I take cash.
So what I'd like you guys to do, just tell us about your career, how long you've been with in the fire service, what you're doing now, and where you're going in the future. So,
Well, that could take a while. So 36 and a half years in the fire service with Muskegon Township. During that time, I was a paid-on-call firefighter for a bit. I worked full-time for the ambulance service in town, and I also spent almost a year with the City of Muskegon Fire Department. So it's been a pretty active career and seen quite a bit go on in our communities across that span of time.
And your retirement date is?
September 22nd.
So we're about 14?
How
years?
wonderful.
Couple years?
Congratulations to you
you.
for serving that long. That's amazing. And putting up with Joe for that long.
Captain
for that.
Mayette, we're going to cut you off right there. Captain Mayette, tell us a little bit about your career.
I've been in the fire service now with Muskegon Township for 26 and a half years. Started out as a paid-on-call for the first 4 years, got hired full-time from there. Went up from second lieutenant, and now captain a year and a half ago. Enjoy the job. Love what I do. That's why I'm still here.
Yeah. I've had the pleasure of my entire career almost with both of you guys on various different things with Fire Academy and scenes that we've been on and that kind of stuff. And I know that recognition is one of those things that comes around every once in a while. Have you, either one of you guys, had the opportunity to be involved with the Sailor Salute before today?
I was here one time, several years back. It was a very impressive event. I appreciated everything that was done and the recognition. I think that you'll find from all of the first responders and military is we shy away from it.
We do, yes.
We don't necessarily look for it or want to have recognition. We want to just do our job and find the satisfaction knowing we've helped somebody. So I was once told by a much wiser individual than me that every once in a while we actually need to take that opportunity and embrace the opportunity to be thanked and accept that recognition for what it is.
Well, you know, one thing, I'm embarrassed to say, I think we take a lot of you guys for granted. You know, the fire department, the police department, the paramedic, whoever. That's a job. They're supposed to, but there's more to the job than just doing what you do. And, having, Joe, one of my dearest friends, knowing what he does in all the meetings, Mark Konechny, who was one of my assistants when he was coaching with me here, it's just go all the time. And I'm embarrassed to say that. That's their job. They'll be here. Don't worry about it. There's more to that, though.
Would you say, though, that because I'm going to kind of fall into Nick's footsteps as just the general citizen of the community, we don't really know about the fire department because we don't always use the fire department or police department or EMS or anything like that. So in a way, it almost reflects how safe your community is and proactively safe. Would you say that's true, Captain?
I agree 100%. We're always there when they need us, but they don't think about us when we're not needed.
It's an insurance policy that isn't cashed in on that often. So, but what people don't realize is the amount of work that goes into that insurance policy behind the scenes. So in the 36 years that you've been on, 26 years that you've been on, tell us a little bit about what you've seen as far as change from the beginning to today in technology and operations.
Wow.
Some of the more substantial or significant ones.
We didn't have defibrillators when I started.
Yeah.
For medical calls, so in cardiac arrest, we didn't have that piece of technology to apply at a shock that would actually bring a heartbeat back. We had to wait for the ambulances to show up. I'd say that on the EMS side, that was a pretty substantial change. Thermal imagers, we didn't have thermal imagers that allows us to see better inside a smoke-filled structure. And for me, probably in this last 5 to 7 years, as much as they can be our vein, the lithium-ion batteries, the fact that we have our vehicle extrication tools, our hydraulic tools now run on a battery. We don't need a gas engine that doesn't always start and hoses connected with hydraulic fluid. It's all self-contained. You push a button and they run. And we can take them anywhere. That's probably been one of the biggest changes.
So the ability to save lives faster based on technology and everything has just been, a lifesaver, literally speaking.
Yes, absolutely.
That's amazing.
Mike, speak to the change in personnel. How hard has it been to get personnel interested in being firefighters over these years?
Back when I started paid on call, we had roughly 36 paid on call. Now we're down to roughly 8. and a bunch of recruits that have joined on recently. It's a lot of training, a lot of hours, and a lot of people who sign up for the job don't realize the amount of hours and commitment it takes to be certified, first of all, and then the commitment for the call volume. Back when I started, our department ran about 1,200 calls a year. Now we run about 3,400 calls a year, all emergency runs, and it's a huge burden for people who want to do it not full time. It's tough.
It is tough, and you know, I'll say this for our department, for your department. If anybody is interested in being a part-time, paid-on-call firefighter, all they got to do is call the fire station, and they get the information that they need with Norton Shores, Muskegon Township, and most of the departments around here in Muskegon County.
Everyone's looking all the time, it seems
all
like.
the time they're looking. Even full-time has become hard to find people
Yes,
interested in it. So just the fire service in general. So if anybody out there is interested in becoming a firefighter, police officer, or part of EMS, there are contacts at all your local area jurisdictions and disciplines that can certainly help you with getting to where you need to be in order to make that become a thing. So what I want to leave this interview with, because you guys represent Reese Puffer, I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for us to talk about the new trophy. So the new trophy, this is a trophy game. You guys have heard of the Little Brown Jug, Paul Bunyan, the trophies that go between the college rivalries.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Reese Puffer and Mona Shores have been known as a huge rivalry over there. 29 years, I think they've straight.
29 years, and it pains me to say this, Puffer leads it 15-14.
That's right, you guys.
Soon to be tied up tonight, though.
16-14.
So in honor of this great rivalry, Sailor Nation Sports Network is creating a travel trophy.
It's going to be a traveling trophy
throwdown. This is the first year, and as the winners are decided, they'll be placed on the sides. And as we fill these up, we'll add bases to it. So we hope this to become a trophy to last for many, many, many years. And I couldn't think of a better way than to have two Reese Puffer public safety coverage personnel sitting here at the table. This might be the closest that you get to it for a while, though.
That's going to look really good in the trophy case at Reese Puffer tomorrow.
It would. I've got another question, though. Now, you gentlemen are in the Puffer area, right? Do you see what we had installed just a couple of years ago on our field? Do you realize now, and this is just a rumor, that the OK Conference is mandating now artificial turf? You're the only school in the conference that doesn't have artificial turf. So as loyal representatives of Reese Puffer, because we were over there playing, and I'm sorry, who does grass anymore, please, okay? Can we work on that, boy?
He talks like it's been a really long time.
You're very influential in the community.
When Mona Shores wants to donate the money.
Have I missed anything here? I don't think so, okay?
The rivalry continues.
The rivalry continues, that's right. Gentlemen, thank you so much for just taking a few minutes to sitting in here, and obviously for your service. And I'll say thank you, Chief, to the years of service that you put in that I've been able to share. And, we've got a few years left, Captain Mayette, together. I'm not going anywhere for at least 6. So, good luck in your next endeavors into retirement. I hope that it serves you as well as what the fire service has.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's been a great career.
Sailor Nation Sports Network will return with another interview here in just a few minutes, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Sailor Nation Sports Network here with our final interview of the pregame show of the Sailor Salute 2023. We've had an opportunity to talk to all walks of life, really, at the beginning of this. We had veterans from the Rolling Thunder. We had Tim Lipan from the organization side of it. The Coast Guard is in here. The fire service represented. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the coaching staff, but not the football coaching staff. We've had a lot of them on here talking about this as well. Well, we're going to talk to Mr. Chris Benedict, the coach of the hockey team. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Hey, glad to be here.
So you and I were, you reached out to me when we were kind of looking for who was going to be here in this interview, and you said, hey, you know, being a veteran and being a coach, I'd love to come on. And man, I immediately jumped on that. Having you on here,
Yeah.
you've been one of our greatest supporters from being a coach and just a friend and everything else. But this is a great opportunity to recognize you as a veteran here.
This is exactly why he reached out, though. He wants more for us right now. You figure, well, I want to be on with you guys. We'll get more.
Nick,
Yeah,
I just
we
like
got you, buddy.
I like hanging out with you, Nick. That's all it is.
So tell us a little bit about your military experience and career.
So I didn't join the Navy until I was 21. I had big dreams to go to college, and I think I went to MCC for 5 years, and still didn't walk out of there with a degree. And my dad was like, get a job or join the Navy. And at the time he told me that, I was like, no way I'm joining the Navy. Well, I went into the recruiter's office, and they're pretty good at what they do, and got me to sign.
Convincing,
and
huh?
Yeah. So
Coach, how long were you in for?
so I was in for 8 years.
Well, good for you. Well, thank you always, first of all kidding aside, for serving our country.
Tell us about your
You're a good
assignments.
person.
So I was on aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt for 5 years. Deployed once to the Persian Gulf in support of OIF and OEF, and came back, did some work downs and all that, and I made E5, and I was going to get out, and the CMC of my command was from Michigan, had the same job that I had, and he called me to his office, and he said, what, you're getting out? And I go, I am. I'm going back home. He goes, no, you're not. You're going to go be a recruiter.
Oh.
And I wasn't sure on that, but he goes, you get to sleep in your own bed every night, and you get to be home. So I took an assignment to be a recruiter. I did that for 3 years. I was in Grand Rapids for 2. And then my third year I transferred to Muskegon, and it's a lot different than being on the tip of the spear. Yeah,
sure.
But I enjoyed it, most of it. Met a lot of great people, and got to work in the school districts. So that was fun. It was fun.
What do you take out of your military experience that helps you with your coaching, with your everyday life? What do you bring into that you learned from the military?
So for me, it's really, before I joined the Navy, it was I just did whatever I wanted when I wanted. Didn't really have a plan in life, and joining the Navy, there's a structure. Things are done a certain way, and once I started coaching, I kind of brought that with. But now, I mean, even now, you have to continue to evolve, and it's not that it's my way or the highway mentality anymore in sports. And so, just dedication to the program, and the sense of pride of being part of something bigger. And I like to think that the hockey team does stuff bigger. Like we go out in the community and we try to help. So my sidekick Paul, he does a great job with it. And
I would definitely say the organization structure and everything of your team kind of reflects a paramilitary style understanding, organization, and structure, which makes it pretty successful in order to do that. Everybody understands their roles and responsibilities, and you guys put a plan together, you execute it, and you one of the biggest things I would imagine that kind of reflects and echoes what you find in the military is camaraderie. And that is
100%.
a huge part of being part of any type of team, whether it's
Hey,
a work
Chris,
team.
so as involved as you are in Mona Shores, and especially with hockey right now, so you have a player that says, hey, Coach, I'm not sure what I want to do after I graduate. Not really sure. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what I want to do in life.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to go to college. I'm not this. I'm not sure if I want to just get a job. Maybe I'll join the armed service. What would you tell one of your players?
I would tell them it's probably the best decision they'll ever make in their life. I actually have a senior this year who's talking about it, and I had a brief conversation with the Navy recruiter over there, and we're going to set up a time where he and I are going to go in and talk to him. And I think anyone who's able should serve. Like, it's just, there's such a sense of pride and I can't even find the words, but it's
sense of pride in protecting the motherland. You're there for a specific reason.
Yeah.
And you're saving lives. You're sacrificing your time. We had a JV player. I was working on decals. One of our JV players says, "Coach, can I have a Navy one?" I go, "Yeah, how come?" He goes, "Well, I really don't want to go to college, and then I want to serve. I want to join. Can I have a Navy?" He goes, "Absolutely." So I hooked him up last night after our game at Puffer with a Navy one, just because that's what he wants to do.
I love it.
That was great.
Yep.
Well, I tell you, being part of this with the fire service, being part of this with Sailor Nation Sports Network, has really been an incredible experience. Just to see the support, the recognition, the overwhelming community involvement with, just understanding and realizing what the military service and first responders do. You feel the same, being a coach here at Mona Shores, you're involved with everything too. You are everywhere within this, but also being a military veteran, you feel that same thing.
Absolutely. Mona Shores does an amazing job in everything that they do, and supporting first responders and veterans and active duty military now is nothing new. It's a lot of veterans or people in the military, they don't necessarily like the hype of thank you for your service and that stuff. It's nice to hear. It is nice to hear. But at the end of the day, we made a decision to do that, and it's nice to have days like this where the community comes out and
you're not singled out. You're recognized as a group, which is a little bit easier to take recognition.
Correct.
I feel the same way
Correct.
about it being a first responder.
Right.
It's just a little bit easier when it's just this group of people being recognized for just a job well done.
Well, other than the one game a few years ago when I had to carry the ball to midfield, that was
you didn't like that, huh? You didn't like being put in there.
No. I'm not shy, but that was yeah.
How's Trent doing?
Trent is it's been a weird, difficult couple weeks with Trent. So we were out in Massachusetts for the junior team that he had signed with, and for whatever reason he was released, and didn't really know what we were going to do. So we're in Massachusetts trying to figure it out. We were talking to his advisor. We potentially were going to leave Massachusetts and head to a team in Canada, but he made the decision that he is going to continue his education, and he is playing on the D1 team at Davenport University.
What's his major going to be? Does he know what he wants to do in life yet?
He has absolutely no clue. He made the decision on a Friday afternoon in Massachusetts. Completed his application Saturday morning. He was enrolled at the school Saturday afternoon, and had a stall set up Saturday evening at the rink. So
he's not going to make a mistake going to college. First and foremost, will
No,
not
no,
make
no.
a mistake. It'll be a quality. He'll have a ball.
And you never know what other doors of opportunity in the hockey world open up with what he's doing too. So, well, we wish him the best of luck. And hope
always.
That, Trent, we're talking about Trent Benedict. He graduated last year from Mona Shores, and the son of Coach Chris Benedict here. So,
And Coach, before Joe signs off with you, now listen, we've got this for football, and my mind's always working.
We do. I hear you.
Always working, Coach. Think of a game. We'd like to have a traveling trophy with hockey. Okay?
Yeah.
And we can spin it how you want, the team that you guys pick, what you want and stuff, what you want the trophy to look like, and it would be our honor.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, and I can reach out to a couple schools. We are playing Reese Buffer again this year, and I think that
It's your call. Talk to the kids, see what the kids do, because it would be nice, a team that we're going to know that we're going to play years down the road.
Right.
Buffer's going to be in the new alignment with the OK, and we're going to be in the OK Black. Different teams, but Puffer, Muskegon, and Shores will still be part of it.
Yep.
Think what works good with you, so down the road, while we're doing it 20 years from now, when they're rolling me into the ice arena, baby, I'm good to go.
Well, it's going to be either Reese Buffer or Grand Haven, and Grand Haven plays out of the same rink we do, so that might be kind of cool. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out.
It's your call, though, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Let us know.
Chris Benedict, coach of the varsity hockey team here at Mona Shores and veteran of the Navy. Thank you very much for spending a little bit of time with us, talking to the fans of Sailor Nation Sports Networks. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Give our best to the family.
Will do.
Sailor Nation Sports Network is going to be signing off for our pregame show here for the 2023 Sailor Salute. In about an hour, maybe a little bit less, we're going to be coming live for our actual game coverage. So don't go too far. Get your snacks, get some food, get yourself prepared for a great battle as we're going to be taking on Reese Puffer here at Sailor Stadium in the Lumbertown Throwdown, the inaugural Lumbertown Throwdown. Thank you, everybody. Have a great hour until the next game.